Well, now joining us to discuss the Houthi threat and the next steps for the Islamic regime in Iran, given the defeat or demoralization of most of their proxy terror groups, Benny Sabti, an Iran researcher at the Institute for National Security Studies. Benny, thank you for joining us today. Pleasure to have you on. What can you tell us about the strikes on the Houthis this weekend? How does the regime in Iran view these attacks?
Hello, and thank you for having me here. Iran regime actually cares less about the Houthis. This is the proxy that they care less, much less than the others. They supplied them for a lot of time, for many years, and they are kind of in a place of sure, and they can trust the Houthis to do their job without Iranian interfere. It's not like Hezbollah and Iraqis or maybe the Syrian regime or proxies that they interfere them all the time. The Houthis are so far away that they also care less about them. So whenever there is a strike from the Houthis toward Israel or from Israel or others toward the Houthis, it's just a good and positive point for Iran. The more we are occupied with the Houthis is good for Iranians. So we have to solve this issue once and for all. The Saudis didn't do that. The Americans didn't do that. So we have to take care about it because they are kind of the last proxy that the Iranians have.
Well, as Trump is set to take office very soon, what do you think his proposed policy of maximum pressure 2.0 will do to the regime?
The Iranian regime and the country is a very bad situation economically and socially. The prices are so high, and every day they are higher and higher in every product and every basic thing that the people need. So every new pressure, new old pressure that President Trump can bring in, it can break this delicate equation that it still exists inside Iran, and the regime won't be able to provide anything more. So, and the Iranians are so angry. In one hand, they are so angry with their regime, and I saw today protests from some workers in some factories that they shout, it's unbelievable. They shout, look what happened to us. Iran looks worse than Gaza and Palestine. This is a very smart and important slogan to say inside Iran. So the situation is very delicate. They don't have enough money to take it up about anything. So if Trump comes with any other pressure, he can bring them to a new and much better agreement, or even to be kind of agreeing to put all the terror or nuclear program aside.
Now, last question. We're almost out of time, but I want to get your take on this. There's been a lot of talk of the regime possibly making a final push towards a nuclear weapon ahead of Trump's second term. How likely do you think that is, and can it be stopped?
I myself don't think that they will push to the last point because, as I said before, Iran regime is in a very delicate situation, and they can bring the regime down with this step. They also don't have the money to do that. And you know, the Iranian leader, in most of the times he was wiser. Every time that the war came to Iran, he retreated and he didn't go for the war. Even when IRGC generals told him to do that against Taliban, against Saddam, the second term in 2000, if I'm not mistaken. So he is afraid of all this situation. I don't see him run to the nuclear weapon, and he has to talk with the IRGC generals and to pull them back from all these desires and demands. He did it in 2013. I'm sure that he can do it again.
All right, well, we are out of time, but thank you for joining us today and shedding some light on what's happening on the ground inside Iran. Thank you, Benny.
Thank you.